Okay, good morning, all the students. For today's guest lecture, uh, we will welcome Mr. Shivaji Ganesh, who is the speaker of the session today. So, with a brief introduction of Shivaji's profile, we would like to go ahead and start the session. Shivaji, is that fine?
Yes, ma'am. Sure,
Yeah,
sure.
right. Shivaji Ganesh is a SEBI registered research analyst and as well he is an entrepreneur. He is the founder of Mithai Club as well as Native Mithai, which later got merged with Araku Coffee. He is a vivid traveler and learner. He is also an ex-yatri of famous Jagriti Yatra, which was supported by Tata's, Microsoft, Google, Coca-Cola, to name a few. Presently, he is working on a project relating to shelf space management with regards to packaging industry. Also, he's been associated with various startup groups in Delhi as well as in Hyderabad as an independent consultant to startups which are under various stages of development. His core interest lies in strategy, financial, and operations management. Coming to his academics, he has done his graduation from Nizam College and he has done his MBA, Masters from Bhavans Vivekananda College, and has also achieved a research analyst certification from NIMS Mumbai, which relates to security markets. And he is also a certified person in food packaging from IIP Hyderabad. We are very glad to have you, Shivaji, on our particular guest lecture. So I request you to please go ahead and orient our students on the your entrepreneurial journey. Thank you, Shivaji. You can start.
Yes, thank you so much. First of all, let me thank the Department of Management Studies, Bhavans Vivekananda College, for having me here after a long time. Roughly, it's been roughly 1.5 years. Been to college last year. I think last before year I've been to college for a guest
Yes,
lecture.
yes, yes.
So, hi friends. It's uh, it's very nice to have you on this session, especially because it's been very tough all these 2 years for anyone, especially for an entrepreneur. Let it be a student or let it be I mean to say what we call uh, any working person or such. It has taken a lot of mental stress. Let us call the financial stress and anything. It's been last 2 years have been very challenging for each and every one of us. I know that. So let's begin with my journey as an entrepreneur. See, I think from my batch, I think I was the only entrepreneur in my whole batch, most probably if I'm not wrong. So way back in 2011, 2012, I hope, because after having done my MBA from Bounce College, I got placed in IVRCL as HR. I worked there for almost 1.5 to 2 years, roughly 18 to 19 months. Roughly, it's not 2 years as such. 18 to 19 months. I worked there. I worked in IVRCL as HR in their corporate office at Banjara Hills. After that, I left my job and worked for Nielsen Org Market. It's a market research based company. See, it's a two different. I'm a marketing major as well as HR minor person. Whereas I chose two different jobs in 3 years. That is, first initially I got placed as HR, and after 2 years I again chose a field which is entirely different, which is marketing research, which is Nielsen Org is a world leader in market research based things and everything. So after those 2 years, the reason behind choosing two different paths is I have always had in my mind to be an entrepreneur while I was studying. So in order to get into that, I need to have some sort of exposure to how an organization functions and what could be the challenges that a working atmosphere will have. What sort of things? Just a moment. I think my video is not. It's not coming. Just a moment. Just a moment. I think there is an issue with it. Can you see me? I hope I think it's not.
No, Shivaji, we are not able to see you.
Can I try logging in again?
Yes, Shivaji. Yes, you can.
That's better.
Yeah.
Can I continue right now?
You're not visible, Shivaji, but it's okay. You can continue. There might be some some technical glitch. You can continue. No issues.
I don't know. I have done the sessions in this, but not sure what happened with my laptop. But okay, that's okay.
Yeah,
Anyways,
no.
it doesn't matter. Yeah, friends. The thing is that after 2 years of 2 to 3 years of my work experience in HR as well as marketing, so I ventured into my own what we call the venture of Mitai Club initially in 2013 and November or 2013 December, roughly in 2013 November we have actually made all the preparations and the startup was launched in the month of December. It was a great launch and we did very good business initially, and after that roughly after 1 year or 1.5 year we had this online presence in what we call Amazon as well as Flipkart, and we had our own website at that point of time, and we did great initially 15 to 16 months. But soon after 14 to 15 months we had enough competition in the market with which we need to face a lot of issues like what we call uh, I mean to say competition from big players, I would say. It's not a small thing to handle all those things, but it happens in what we call this sort of journey as well. And my core concept was in my Mitai Club was this: I have selected products based on their geographical indication. I mean, geographical indication. I mean, I think you could able to understand what is geographical indication based products. That is like what we call this Tirupati Laddu, which has this own geographical indication tag like that. I mean, Bandar Laddu, what we call Athrepuram, Puthraiklu, and the Namkins of Indore, Agra Pita, Madura Peda, all these things. This indicate, I mean, geographically indication based products we have selected. That's my core USP of starting this what we call my startup. So I have started with that, and it was going good initially. But after few months of these operations, we could able to face this what we call logistic related operations, because majority of the food products that we have selected had a shelf life of roughly uh, maximum of 30 to 45 days, not more than that. So what we faced is initially it was going good. We had our own networking and we could able to tap our own networking, and at one point of time the networking was saturated. We couldn't have new customers over here in this uh, in my what we call in my business. So what I did was I clubbed my what we call this thing with Aruku Coffee, which is being run by my friend as well as myself. It's a partnership based firm. Startup, that is Aruku Coffee, which deals with Aruku Coffee itself. So I actually merged this Mithai Club with this. And after that, we thought of what we call, this is purely Mitai Club initially was only a purely online e-commerce based presence. We don't have this offline presence and everything. But after merging with this what we call Arku Coffee and everything, we thought of why don't we have this offline presence and what we call corporate gifting sort of things, which we can actually handle and we can actually make good profit, because they don't have this shelf life related issues. Because whenever we get order from this corporate gifting sort of things, we'll present them immediately within 2 to 3 days, maximum of 7 days. That's it, not more than that. So this shelf life issue it completely got what we call eradicated from our problems. So we started doing this corporate gifting to corporates like Lodha Group and what we call almost all the corporates roughly. Like we did corporate gifting for Deloitte in 2014, 2015, and 2016 also, and to also what we call this Lodha Group, as I said, and IVRCL. Anyways, it was doing for the last, and some other small scale and medium scale companies in Chalapalli industrial area and Nacharam industrial area and Balnagar industrial area. We could able to do corporate gifting over there, because see, what we initially need to have is this sort of self confidence in us to handle each and every issue that comes in between. So for that, we tried doing whatnot, everything. See, it was a one-man show, frankly speaking, initially. And after that, when my friend joined, so we both of us, we did the marketing thing, we did the corporate gifting thing, we did what we call a lot of traveling, we were with what we call customers. We tried to have all these networking issues. We did everything, whatnot, from scrap to everything. We did this financial management. We did this. Logistical issue related issues also. We try to handle it on our own. So we tried everything, whatnot. We tried everything from each and everything, starting from setting it up, packaging related issues, this product management. I mean to say, keeping it safe, because these are all semi-perished or perishable products. What the products that we chose. So we need to have it. We need to keep it in a place wherein which we shouldn't get contaminated, because after that we'll get a lot of issues. So we did have this FISSA, food certification also. We did have the certification also. So there are no, legal related issues for that. So we have done everything, starting it to everything from start to end. We both managed each and everything. And after a brief time, what we did was, we thought of expanding it in other parts as well, other cities as well. So we moved to Delhi also. So we moved to Delhi, parts of Noida and Gurgaon also. We did some corporate gifting to some of the companies over there. So we did the corporate gifting to what we call, Patanjali also, for a brief time. I mean, for only 1 year we did for this Patanjali thing. So Patanjali corporate office we did over there. So after that, some other companies also we did. And the basic challenges was what I faced in having all this is, first of all, we need to have a stable sort of mind to be a successful entrepreneur. So it's not that easy to be an entrepreneur as such. It's easy to go to a job from 9 to 5 and have your own income monthly and lead a peaceful life. But it's not that easy to be an entrepreneur. You'll have a lot of challenges to cope up with. You'll have a lot of questions from your family members. You need to cope up with all those things. And few say that to escape employment also, few take up this entrepreneurship. Those people will automatically fail. There's no chance of success over there. So you need to deal with a lot of uncertainties in the sense that you're not sure whether you'll be successful or not. Yes, you may be confident, you may be very well versed with what you're thinking about, and you have your own self belief, what we call, you have your own support and everything. But even in spite of all these things, in subconscious stage you'll always feel a little bit uncertain whether it's going to work out or not. So a lot of self doubts. I mean to say, simply saying, it's a self doubt whether we could able to manage it or not. That thing also will come into mind. And you need to be more of what we call focused. Initially it won't be that easy to be successful. It's not that easy to, it's not a cakewalk as such. See, initially we think, we have our own. Let me tell my example as such. See, we had our own core USP, that is geographical indication based products only we chose. So what I thought was, it's easy because there's nobody in that, vertical having this geographical indication based products for doing this e-commerce based all this thing. So I thought we were pioneers in that, and we did enough things. But the thing is that we failed in creating enough network. See, networking matters a lot. Networking, what we call, if you want to have a good customer base, you need to have a lot of networking. And if you want to establish your idea perfectly, you need to have a lot of customer base, what we call this networking and everything, whatnot, everything. So then, coming to the other challenges that I faced was, initially we started with initial capital of roughly 1.5 to 2 lakhs only. It was going good initial, as I said, and that we thought of going for this venture capital after 14 to 15 months roughly. We thought of going to venture capital, but as my friend joined, so I thought it's waste of having to have one other venture capital on that. So anyways, my friend joined, and we both managed very well. And what other problems that you have is this psychological related problems that you'll automatically face while you come up with all these ideas and everything. See, while you are in MBA, whatever, see, if you'll get placed, of course. one side is your placement that you have, and the second side is the entrepreneurial thoughts, or let it be a good ideas that you have, you want to put it into action. So what would you choose? Automatically what parents says, parents, or let it be your elders, or majority of whomever you meet, they will say it's better to have this employment because you got placed. It's not that easy to get placed. So majority will force you to have this employment. But if you want to be an entrepreneur, if you want to have your to do work on your passion, so be an entrepreneur. There's no other option as such. So it's always, you should be very strong initially. You should be very strong. Perseverance matters as such. Simply speaking, perseverance. So, and what we have to do is, initially, suppose that you have an idea. What should you do with an idea? Suppose that you have this idea, but you don't have this capital. What should you do? Then there are companies like what we call this 91 springboards, co-working, all these are all co-working spaces, I would say, because I used to work at 91 springboards as a consultant for their startups. But the thing is that what majority of them faces is, you people come with a vague idea and it's not validated, it's not worked on perfectly. And as soon as you come up over there with this idea, what we'll do is, because it's not sustainable, we'll outrightly say, boss, this is not gonna out, it's not gonna work out. It's always better you come up with a better idea or refined idea. That's what we'll say. But if you have come up with a brilliant idea, don't worry, don't ever worry about this capital related issues, because we have this T Hub in Hyderabad, which is actually doing wonderful things for all these startup related companies. But majority of the T Hub is dedicated to tech based companies, and few, let it be tech based also, that is also AI, I mean artificial intelligence and machine learning, all these things. It is majority, I mean 70 to 80% of startups that are being mentored in T Hub relates to IT based technologies, and only roughly 30% are completely related to other fields. I mean to say, let it be a food based, or let it be a, I mean construction based, let it be any other innovation that comes under different verticals. Only 30% of weightage is being given in T-Hub also. So if for but suppose in 91 springboards, wherein which if you have an idea in 91 springboards, you have over here is venture capitalists are available. You have these mentors are available. You have this marketing related, marketing related opinions, or let it be, or what we call helping sort of things are available over here, and HR related operations are available over here. So you just come up with an idea and everything will be done at 91 springboards. That's what happens in 91 springboards. So, and after that, suppose that you had this idea, you had this capital also, what should you do? Then comes the operations related issues. How to cope up with the operation related issues? Let it be, suppose that you have selected a product based on, let it be food. So what are the issues that you'll have? I mean the storing part, the logistic part, and what we call, I mean to say, this marketing part, operational issues, financial management, and what we call strategies, operational issues, and other government related permissions which are very much necessary. So you need to think of each and every vertical if you want to have your own startup, starting from planning, as I said, logistics, material packaging, operations, government related permissions, and everything. So you need to have a clear cut path in how to cope up with each of these verticals. If you are clever enough, you can actually handle it. But if you don't, it's always better to have a partner who can share your own ideas. But need to be if you're good at financial management, it's always good to have a person who is very good at operational or some other related field, some other related vertical, who can actually help you to cope up with the deficient what we call practices that you have. So it's always better to have the opposite person in your group. So after that, what you have to do is, anyways, you'll get started with this seed capital initially. Seed capital can be very less. When you need to have your own prototype. Proto testing. You need to test the idea in a very small space. Let it be, if suppose that you're dealing with some electronic related, or let it be some product related, household related item. So it's always better to test it in a what we call in a closed group area. Let it be gated community area. You can test your product, and you can have the opinions of the people based on their usage, and you can take their inputs and you can improve upon based on their inputs and everything. So after that, so it's always better to have a mentor. And when the startup is getting to grow, it's always better to have a mentor. Why? Because so you can't handle it single-handedly, let it be you and your friend also, because you're both of the same experience and everything. So there are a lot of other issues which you could not cope up. Government related permissions. Suppose that if it's a food product, you need to have FISSAI permissions, GST related permission. GST number, anyways, you can get it within 10 to 15 minutes. That's not a big deal. But food permissions, everything, you need to get it. And after that, packaging material. Suppose it's a food related packaging, so you need to have a virgin material. So otherwise, the product might get migrated. So all these health related issues will come up if you don't have a proper packaging issues also. So this packaging thing, for all these things which you may not be experienced, it's always better to have a mentor over here. Mentor may not be a permanent person. For temporary thing, that's why we need to have a consultation based setup from different people who are well versed in those areas. It's always better to have that. So the other thing is, whatever you do with full confidence. Don't worry about the failures. See, let me tell you one more example. I have given my UPSC examinations in 2015 and 16 also. So 2 times also I got I couldn't able to cross it, because in 2015 I could able to get up to mains only. I could able to clear prelims only. In 2016 I could able to go to personality test. We call it as PT in UPSC mains examinations. Interview. That is personality interview. So I could able to go there. But out of in the merit list I was not there, because I was short of roughly 12 to 13 marks. So you need to accept the failures as well. Accepting failures is very much important if you want to be successful. You'll be very much enthusiastic when you have your own startup, but as the time goes on, there's some sort of what we call depression sort of things and everything. So you need to cope up everything. See, we say a lot of normally what people say is, when those who are having their own stuff, what people say is, we are under a lot of stress. We are under a lot of stress. We need to cope up with all these things. That is not an issue. The thing is that when you change your mind about stress, you can change your body's response to stress. You got it? You can change your mind about stress. Okay, the concept of stress. When you change your mind about stress, you can change your body's response to stress. Sometimes stress gives very good output. When you're at utmost pressure, the output would be very much good. But people, we think in entirely different. In the exact opposite direction. If you're under complete stress, what we say is, it's always better to relax and forget everything. Yes, that is good to some extent, but it's not good when you are an entrepreneur. You'll be under constant pressure, and you need to cope up with that, and you need to make your mind, and you need to change your mindset about stress. If you can change your mindset about stress, you can change your body's responses also to the stress. You'll get cope up with that. Even if you get a lot of stress also, you'll feel simple. You'll feel it will be the new normal. I would say it will be the new normal of your dealing things. So don't worry about the stealth things, all those things. And initially, there would be no work-life balance if you're an entrepreneur. It would be very difficult for you to balance both personal as well as this entrepreneurial journey as well. See, for initially for 6 to 1 year, even the parents or let it be friends also, they'll try to observe you, they'll try to push you, they'll even encourage you if you start up. But after 1 year or after 15 to 16 months, if the results are not coming, you'll be under stress. First of all, as I said, the second thing is your parents, your well-wishers, let it be your friends, keep on saying it. Boss, leave it. Why don't you go and pick up a job so that you can be successful, so you can have your own life. Just leave it. You tried it, you missed it, so leave it. It's always better to go with that. That's the sort of advice you get it after 14 to 15 months if you're not able to get the desired results out of it. So be ready for it. Be ready for it. Have that patience in your mind. You can get it. It's not that easy, but you can get it. Only thing is self-belief. I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. See, frankly speaking, I'm not that well versed with this English and everything. But I tried. I tried, and I could able to speak at least. But initially, I was very much what we call not fluent. Also, not. I could able to hardly speak in English. That was my initial problems. But after that, I could able to cope up with it. I used to speak. I used to speak in my own self. I used to have. Uh, I used to stand before a mirror. I used to have. I used to read the newspaper and how I look, how what my body expressions and everything. See, this is. See, you need to have your own sort of setup to overcome the problems that you have. Suppose that you have a stress, so you can have your own sort of setup to overcome that stress. For me, I have made up my mind that stress is normal for me. That's the mind I have made up. So stress will never affect me. But for you, for different people, different reactions may be happening. So you should have your own sort of setup to overcome different problems while dealing with this entrepreneurial journey. Okay, it's not that easy, but as the time passes by, you can overcome it. So I think have any one of you have watched this Shark Tank program in ABC TV? Because it's basically about all these entrepreneurial ideas that the attendees present before this what we call this venture capitalist sitting over there who would judge your idea and everything. So watch that Shark Tank program. Shark Tank program, which will be hide on ABC TV channel. It's an American TV show, Shark Tank. Now I think nowadays I think Sony also is coming up with this plan of having this own Indian Shark Tank program, which is basically encouraging this entrepreneurial mindset and what we call entrepreneurial development. Suppose that your idea is very good, they will buy. You can pitch your ideas. Simply speaking, you can pitch your ideas before this venture capitalists who are there who can actually invest in your ideas. Shark Tank. That's a program called Shark Tank, which will be hid on ABC TV channel, and it's an American TV channel. So do watch it, and do watch TED Talks. I think majority of you, I think you're aware about TED Talks, TED Talks, which are very good. So if you want to be an entrepreneur, do watch these TED Talks, because wherein you can have all sorts of successful persons from different verticals. Let it be some maybe from behavioral sciences, some maybe from medical, some maybe from management related fields, some maybe from construction related fields, some maybe from government related field. All these people, they'll deliver their successful journeys on TED Talks, which is very much useful for people who want to be an entrepreneur. Keep that in mind. These TED Talks are very much important, and you need to upgrade with the technology that the present situation is demanding. See, let me give you an example. I think majority of you have seen this Nokia's situation. Way back in 2003 to 2000, from 2003 to 2007, the market capitalization of Nokia is roughly 70%. But when it comes to 2014, it's hardly even 5 to 6%. The reason behind this Nokia's failure was, I think you would have this case study also in due course of time. It's purely they lacked this technological upgradation. They lacked this vision, and there are some other technical issues also, like their own OS related, that is Symbian OS related issues also, which they have, which couldn't cope up with, which couldn't actually compete with iOS of Apple, as well as Android of all these different other operating systems. So they had their own failures, because so we need to be upgraded, even in technology, even in our mindset, even in our what we call the way which we think, and don't ever have ambiguous sort of mindset. Don't be doubtful about anything. Be specific and be clear. Take risk, but it should be a calculated risk. See, risk is something like, see, I can actually tell you a simple example: risk and calculated risk. See, in the financial markets, what I'm dealing right now. Right now, I'm actually a SEBI registered research analyst. What I do is, even for the clients that I have, I'll give them a stop loss for each and every stock that they trade, and a target. Stop loss is my calculated risk based on my technical analysis. Whereas risk is, you'll give a target, you won't give what we call stop loss. If it hits the target, it's lucky. If it doesn't, gone. The whole money is gone. So that's the difference. Simple. I'm just giving you an example. It's not that you need to think in that way, but what I'm trying to say is, take a calculated risk. Have a time frame of to test your ideas. Suppose that you're an MBA and you're going to complete your MBA in a couple of years. I mean, another 1 year or so. Have a time frame. Have a time frame. Let it be 1 year or 1.5 year. 15 to 16 months, or let it be 24 months, 2 years. And then just give a shot at your idea. Whether you could able to test it, whether you could able to scale it up, whether if you could able to do it and everything. See, it's always better to see one more example. Zomato, I think you know the Zomato story also. Zomato has never made profits, till date, starting from inception onwards. Has never made even a single rupee profit. It's always in loss, roughly 3,000 crores, 4,000 crores, 5,000 crores. It's been increasing. The net losses are been increasing for the Zomato since its inception. But what they did was, the market, they tried to instill brand image in the mindsets of people. So when it came for IPO, for the last, I think last week it has come to IPO, and yesterday it got listed. Yesterday itself it got listed in stock market, National Stock Exchange. And you won't believe, within minutes of this listing, it was roughly 1 lakh crore company. And this founder has made huge profits out of it. See, the company is making losses, but even then, he could able to make profits. See, here you need to understand one thing. Creating a brand image in the minds of people will always help you to survive. Okay, just not making profits. It's always better to make brand conscious and the niche that you select, and let it be in the vertical that you select. It's always better to have a sort of what we call a kind of approach, wherein which you need to make your brand appear in the minds of people. Word of mouth. I mean to say, this publicity, like the word of mouth. So it's always better to have that. So that's the reason why Zomato has never made profits. But yesterday, after listing, yesterday itself, it got listed for roughly 60 to 70% premium. The price was roughly 72 to 75 rupees. That the price that they have given. And yesterday it got listed somewhere around 125 to 145. Traded somewhere around 125 to 145. So within no time, the company is roughly 1 lakh crore company. Till us 2 days back, it was still a loss-making company. From yesterday onwards, it's a huge company with huge profit. So analyze in your own way. See, I'm here not to explain how things will work, but I'm here just to make you explore what you need to think while you want to be an entrepreneur. I just want to widen the horizons of your thinking. Don't worry about, see, if you're very much confident and if your startup is still making losses, don't worry, hang on. Time will come, you can actually pitch it big. But even if you're making profits and you can see that it's not sustainable, the idea is not sustainable, just make a profit by selling it to someone who is actually having interest in your startup. Got my idea? Got my point? So it's always better to think in a rational way. See, when you approach a venture capitalist with your idea, what he actually thinks is, what we normally think is they'll see a long run. I mean to say long run in the sense that 5 to 10 years you normally think, but a venture capitalist think minimum of 20 years time horizon. So what would be the situation of the product, or let it be the service, after 20 years? That is the time horizon when a venture capital actually looks. So whether your idea is going to be sustainable for that long, then only he's going to invest in your idea. If not, ruled out. Even if your company is making profits also, is not going to invest. Mark my words. Even if your company is making losses also, he will invest if he is convinced that this product or the service that you're offering have very bright future in the long run. Okay, just try to understand the difference. It's not all about money in the entrepreneurship. It's about your idea and your innovation, which is entirely different from the existing ones. Okay, that's the thing which you need to keep in your mind. And as said, your psychological, a lot of psychological factors will come in between you. So you should be very much careful with all those things. And your personal things you need to manage. Don't ever mix your personal things with this entrepreneurial aspects as well, because you have a lot of stress at the workspace in the entrepreneurial journey. And if you go home, if you show that frustration on your people, it doesn't work out in that way. It's not good. That's what. So have very good networking initially. Try to have very good networking with like-minded people. Suppose that you want to have you have a very good idea. Just speak with good people. Let it be your faculty who can actually develop on that idea. If they can give their own inputs. They can share their own experiences. How it will gonna work out. So share your idea. Have that in their mind. You present it in a proper way. If it really works out, you'll certainly have a way ahead. But it's a path less taken, I would say. Very hardly few people will select this entrepreneurship. I mean, let it be to be an entrepreneur, to have a startup. Very few people will think in that way. But if you can come up with a challenging solution to an existing problem, there's always an opportunity in the market wherein which you can be successful at any point of time, at any given point of time. There's no time frame as such. Suppose that you need to start now, you need to start afterwards. It's not that. It's always better if your ideas, if you are very much confident about your idea, and if it has a unique solution to the existing problem in the market, let it be in the society. So there's no time frame wherein which you need to pitch it. Immediately also you can pitch it. It's not that. As said, experience matters only till you cope up with the ideas of different segments in the entrepreneurship. Let it be logistics, marketing, finance, operational issues, government related issues, strategies, and everything. Initially, you need a little bit of mentorship, but in due course of time, you'll cope up with all these things. Also, you don't need mentorship also after some time. Hope you got it, what I'm trying to say. So finally, what I can say is, if you have a really good idea, just drop a message to me also. We can work it out, because I'm a consultant to almost roughly 2 to 3 groups in Delhi, in Noida also. So we had our office, we have our office, not, we have our office in Noida also. So in Hyderabad also, I'll be stationed at 91 Springboards. So you can come up over there also. You can have my contact with the faculty. So if you have really very good idea, don't worry about the finances. Okay. We are there to finance and everything. We are there. If the idea is really good, we are there. We are there, and we will try to do something or the other. Okay. But be very much confident in whatever you pursue. Don't just have a vague idea and come up with something which is not sustainable. Have a clear cut idea and have your own, I mean to say, have your own project work done. I mean, project work, it doesn't mean that you need to have a summary, all these things and everything. Project work, it can be in a one paper or it can be in 10 papers also. In one paper also, you can have your own unique idea. What is that you want to wish to do? What is the problem that you want to solve? What is that you wish to address? What sort of customer base that this particular idea or the particular service have, this particular product have, and what are the challenges? What if are there any competitors in a particular segment which may emerge in the coming, and how sustainable the idea is? See, I'll give you for sustainability. I'll give you one more idea, one more example. See, during when the cell phone revolution started in 2003 to 2002, roughly, we had this coin boxes sort of phone calls. We used to have coin boxes. Wherever you go, you'll have this coin box. Drop 1 rupee, make a call, and in Cherlapalli, there are roughly 100 to 100 to 120 companies which flourished just because of coin boxes, and majority of them, they didn't get upgraded, and the majority of them got closed. Roughly 70 to 80 companies of this coin box making, that is metal sheet fabrication based companies, which were actually producing all these outer layers of these coin boxes and everything, they got closed immediately as soon as these coin boxes got closed, because cell phones were much more cheaper. So majority companies got closed in Cherlapalli industrial area just because that they didn't upgrade. It's not that easy to set up I mean cell phone based company also, but they can actually venture into some other vertical. So the thing is that the idea should be sustainable. Coin boxes, they were a failure. It's not sustainable. That idea was not sustainable. So immediate technological upgradation has come. So technology has upgraded. So you need to, so what all you need to keep in your mind is whether your product or service really has that market in this market right now, and whether it is sustainable also in the near future. Let it be near future in the sense that like coming 5 to 10 years also, it's going to be sustainable immediately. And if you have that sustainability period in your mind, then only you can pitch your idea to people who can actually invest in your idea. And if you're not interested, you can just sell your idea and you come out happily with the money that you make it. There's no big deal over here. It's always good. It's always good to make money. Just come up with good ideas and we are there to help you all. Okay. Any questions if you have, you can just ask me. Madam, is that okay, madam?
Yes, Shivaji.
Yeah.
Students, you can ask any questions you have. You all can ask. You can unmute yourself and you can ask better.
Any questions relating to entrepreneurship, anything which comes, any challenges that you may face, you can ask. I'm just your senior, I'm not a guest lecturer. Okay, just feel free and you can ask.
If you would like to type in the chat window as well, I will go ahead and ask the question. Or if you can raise your hand as well, you can go ahead and ask question to Shivaji. He will be able to answer your queries. Yeah, anyone? You can type the question in the chat window. I will go ahead and ask. If you're not able to go ahead and unmute yourself and ask, you can actually type it in the chat window. Shivaji, can I ask a question?
Yes, ma'am. Why not?
Okay, yeah, like Shivaji, as a new person or a new startup person,
Yes.
what are the different avenues which the person has where he can get the funding from? Like, what is the procedure? How does the person can approach the venture capitalist or an angel investor? They say many words which they say. Like, how do they go ahead and approach? What is the way as a person when I'm starting up something? I'm in bit confusion. From where will I get my particular funding from? So,
Yes.
what are the different sources which we have?
Yes. See, madam, there are roughly 3 stages of funding, ma'am. First is seed, or let it be what we call seed or angel funding. Both are the same. One are the same. Initial funding, which is very less. It may be, it depends on the product, or it depends on the idea that you have, roughly 1 to 5 lakhs or 1 to 10 lakhs also. That is seed capital, which can be raised from your friends, or let it be from your people as well. The second stage is this venture capital, wherein which the idea may be this, when the startup is under, it's going in, I mean, it's growing I mean, there's enough growth seen in the company, then you will approach this venture capitalist. And after that, after a certain period of time, you will go this private equity firms. Third stage is private equity. But as you asked about this initial capital funding only, so there are, I mean, T-Hub is always available over there. In T-Hub also, we have this seed capital as well as venture capital wing over there in T-Hub also. In T-Hub, if your idea is good enough, you can pitch your idea there. You can directly approach over there. You can drop a message to their admin in T-Hub, or else even in 91 springboards also we have this board. I mean, angel or seed funding board we have. There also you can have your, see, you can come up with simple, not in plain words and a simple plain paper. You can come up with the idea and just present your idea. Sir, this is the idea that I have. I think this is going to be sustainable. I have, based on that, you have your own pros and cons on that. You can present your both pros and cons on that. And if they like it, they will immediately give a fund. But they won't ask any, I mean, any of your share in the initial thing. I mean, if it is a seed funding or angel funding, they would never ask a portion of your your startup. When it comes to the venture capital level only, then only they would ask you to part with your equity there itself, not in the initial funding. Initial funding, anybody can raise it, and for initial funding, and I'm open. I can actually fund it. If the idea is really good, you can actually approach me. Any of the students, they can approach me. If the idea is really good, up to 10 to 15 lakhs also, I can fund it. If the idea is really sustainable, if it really has a bright future, I can actually fund it. Because I've been because some of my friends, we have been to all these startup related uh, companies and everything, so we know how ideas will work out. So we will actually fund it for initial 10 to 15 lakhs. It's not a big deal, madam. Anybody can fund it.
Oh, that's great. Thank you so much, Shivaji. Thank you so much. I think so. Our students will surely approach you for this, and we ourselves would also try to go ahead and approach you and get in collaborated with you for the future as well. Right?
Sure, ma'am.
Any student? Yes, yes, sure. Anyone would you like to ask any question?
Ma'am, I do have a question. Hi, sir.
Hi.
Hello.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
tell
So
me,
just,
tell me.
I am a person who has been free since last 1 year. I mean, I have left my job. In last year. So I had some time to think about these ideas, but whenever I come up with an idea, I check it on Google whether there's an already idea sustaining. Something or the other comes up. Like, how do we ensure that there's no plagiarism? I mean, unintended plagiarism also. But we are coming up with a new idea, because when we can't go directly to people to pitch up our ideas and then listen from them that there's already an idea like this already in existence before. So how do we make sure that there's no plagiarism and we are coming up with something new?
See, when I started with my Mitai Club company, I mean startup, the core USP of mine is GI indication. I mean geographical indication based products. By the time I was in this food based startup, there are almost roughly 15 to 20 companies who are actually dealing with these sweets, savories, I mean namkeens and everything, all these products. But my core, I mean USP, that kind of thing which I chose was only geographical indication based products only I placed in my, my website. So I have made nick. I have made a nick in this. Okay. So plagiarism, as you said, see, uh, even for the existing startup, see what Flipkart is doing, the same thing Amazon is also doing, the same thing Snapdeal is also doing, the same thing almost roughly seven to what hundreds of companies are doing.
Yes.
But the thing is that what each and everyone have each one of them have their own core USP in operation. See, for the Flipkart, you have this fastest delivery available, and the trustmanship for Flipkart is much more than Amazon. Both are in the same field. It doesn't make much difference. See, if you are coming up with an idea, just pitch it with the only single sentence of your core thing. This is the thing which I feel different, which I can place it in a different way if you give me an opportunity. Just present with that simple idea. Let it be a one sentence or let it be a two sentence of thing. Just drop a mail. You may not, as you said, see, it's not that easy to approach venture capitalist initially. It's not that easy. You don't have time and you don't have those contacts also. But if you can find out their emails and if you can drop a message stating that, sir, in this particular vertical, I can actually make a difference by making these things, or by providing these services, by providing this product, which can be sustainable. If you can mark it and if you can show the difference even with your own words, let it be in your own words. It may not be you may not showcase everything. It's not that easy also. If you can differentiate it, then there are people who can actually take up your idea. They can actually fund it. Don't worry about it.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, students, anyone has any questions? Okay, right. Thank you, Shivaji. Thank you so much for sharing your entrepreneurial journey with our students, the ups and downs you have faced in your life in the same way. And you have enlightened our students about the entrepreneurship and how to overcome failures and how to view success as and how to think as an entrepreneur. Right. Thank you so much for giving us your time and sharing your particular thing with your students. Thank you so much, Shivaji. Thank you so much for today. Thank you. And we will be going ahead and collaborating with you in your future endeavors as well. We want your support for the entrepreneurship to have our students take career in the entrepreneurship.
Sure, man. Why not? Why not? I'll be more than available for the college, especially for Pawan's college, for my college, especially. It's no issue.
Yeah, thank you, Shivaji. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, Shivaji.
Thank you.
Okay, all the students, thank you everyone for your patient listening. Students, all the A section students, please join at 12:45 for your MR class, beta. Join at 12:45 for your MR class. You will not have your MR class at 2 o'clock. You will have it now, 12:45. Okay, guys? Thank you.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.